Are you a first responder, a veteran, a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, or a Let's Go Blues radio listener? Of course you are. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call real estate superstar Mike Burgoyne today at 314-753-4060 or email him at mike@strikewithmike.com to earn special rates today.
A proven winner on the hockey rink, Joe Wolf knows what it takes to be the best. That's why he has the best rates in the area and only has rave reviews of his work with Wolf Power Washing. Get that siding back to its original color with Joe. Call him at 314-420-5434. That's 314-420-5434.
Hi guys, this is Erica Weston with
Valley Sports West.
And you're listening to my favorite St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio.
I'm here for it. I'm here for all the hot takes.
I totally see Hoffman putting up 30, 35 goals
in a 56 game season?
Yeah.
You know, Jeff, you were saying you didn't think he was going to score 20 goals next season.
I still think
that's a possible.
I mean, I would literally be happy to grab a live crow and eat it if Tarasenko comes back and scores 30, 40 goals in the NHL in the season.
With a last name like Bolduc, he's not going to play for us. There's just something about that last name is not going to make the NHL on this team. And for the Blues, I just don't see it happening. It seems like a name that is not conducive to play in the NHL.
Kurt Price is already making his claim that Zach Bolduc will never wear a Blues jersey in a regular season game.
No.
And starting on defense, from St. Charles, Missouri, number 94, Jeff Ponder.
Welcome to, I had to get that one in while you guys were on the show at least once.
No.
Yeah, we're not here. We'll just leave.
Yeah, go ahead. It's all me. It's my show. Welcome to episode 50. That's right, everyone. It's your favorite goaltender's number episode, Chris Mason, of season 13. This is episode number 481, all time, of the often imitated, never duplicated. We are eating your pets and giving your children sex changes. We're the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Special thanks to our sponsors, realtor Mike Burgoyne. You can email at mike@strikewithmike.com for proudly sponsoring the show. Make sure to utilize him if you're buying or selling property. And Wolf Power Washing, who has the best power washing rates in town. Call Joe at 314-420-5434 and book your appointment today. Also, don't forget to check out our t-shirt shop at letsgoblues.com for some well-designed and fairly priced Blues-themed t-shirts. By the way, Kurt, I did just check that out earlier today. I forgot that we've got the friend of the show friend of the show shirt up, and I think that is a good-looking shirt. So if you're looking for a new Blues-themed t-shirt and want to celebrate your favorite Blues podcast, become a friend of the show and get the t-shirt. It's a beauty.
It's a sharp one.
It is. You can also check us out on Discord. I need to change this. We are no longer new and improved. We're just there. Let's go blues.com.
We're old and stale.
Yes. Let's go blues.com/Discord. It is Wednesday, September 25th, and we're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, ESPN 4, 5, 6, and 7, wherever you get live video casts.
Wait, we didn't make the Ocho?
We did not make the Ocho. We're not good enough yet. Give us one more season. Maybe by season 14, which, by the way, is next week. To interact with the show on social media, our handle on all social channels is at LGB Radio. Just search for us and you'll find us. And if you haven't already done so, please like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, buy a t-shirt from our shop, get yourself some Let's Go Blues Radio panties, or do whatever you can do to help us out. I'm your host, Jeff Ponder, and I am joined by Kurt Price and Bill Day, not Bill J. The agenda for tonight's
stuff
includes Mystery Hockey Theater, where we relive the Blues' last series win against the Detroit Red Wings. Who knew that I would be 6 years old and Kurt and Bill would be 40 years old when that happened? All that and more on this factually inaccurate episode of Let's Go Blues Radio. Gentlemen, welcome back to the live show.
It's really great to be here.
It is. Oh, my Lord.
I got a panting
Change your
dog
name
on
in
the
the YouTube chat, Kurt.
What?
Is that you?
That is me. That's my YouTube account channel now. It has to be. I'm a brand ambassador for 6-0 Pickleball, so I rebranded my channel. And that's what it is.
You couldn't just start a specific one for them.
No, because I already had a bunch of crap on there from our leagues and stuff. So yeah.
Well, congratulations. You should start like doing tutoring on how to be a brand ambassador. And make that.
I need to be one for more than like a week before I can do that.
Be an ambassador for all brand ambassadors.
I like it. Guys, give me 1 second here because apparently
I saw that.
Yeah, it looks like our live stream decided to change. They have changed everything about this interface, and apparently I was not prepared for that. So let me edit
regular live stream.
Yep, that is not what our episode should be called. It should be called whatever it is that I titled it, which I'm trying to find exactly what that title is.
Oh, I can
just
change
give
it.
me a minute.
Here,
oh, it's right here. I got it.
Yeah, it's in the top there, top right.
Yep. And oh my Lord. Okay, you want to handle doing the details on it? Because that's screwed up too. But I tried to fix it. I don't know if it's gonna fix or not. We'll see.
Oh, the details on the I'll play with it.
Yeah, that's quite annoying that they had to change that.
Whatever.
Well, we're live. You're here. That's all that matters, folks. And then Austin Lynch in the chat says, "Don't eat my dog." Yep, please, don't eat people's dogs. It's not nice. All right. Well, sorry, as we're trying to deal with some on-the-fly issues here. Want to mention at the top of the show, this is, I believe, I meant to talk with you guys about this, but I believe that we are, this is our last episode of season 13, and next episode will be our season preview show. So that'll probably be next Wednesday, I would imagine. But, yeah, that's what's going on. Shut up, Matt Harris. He says, I can't wait for regular live stream with my regular live streamer. Yeah, we're working on that. Hopefully we can change it.
Right. It really should only be preseason for me and Kurt, but you know, Jeff showed that maybe he's been mailing some of this offseason stuff in.
Or the fact that I'm burnt out from doing the entire show all summer and you fuckers haven't helped me.
I gave you a ton of content.
You have, actually.
I retired during the summer.
Yes, you do. And that's okay. I'm the crazy idiot who wants to do a hockey podcast in the summer months.
I did change it, but it's not updating.
Did you change it in Restream or did you try changing it in YouTube?
I changed it in Restream.
Okay. Maybe try doing it in YouTube. See if it'll let you.
I'll try.
Okay. So yeah, we'll roll on here. So again, next week, our season preview show. So make sure you tune in for that. But also want to thank all the amazing guests I've had on this summer, including Mr. Bill Day, or Bill J, as I called him earlier. We've had some incredible guests. Last week, Matt DeFranks, if you haven't listened to that one yet, of the Post-Dispatch, he offered some excellent insight into training camp and the prospect camp and a lot of the players that we're going to see in Blues jerseys for the first time in the next couple weeks. So great stuff from him. And then, of course, I mean, we've had some great ones. Bill, you joined me for the Puck Doku interview with Taylor. You know, we had Teeny Tendy on, so that she was a great guest. So many that I'm forgetting and not naming right now. But check out our summer episodes if you haven't done it yet, because it's been a lot of fun. It's been a great summer. I've enjoyed this summer way more than last summer.
You didn't carve out a bunch of work for yourself this summer.
I didn't.
Just rolled with it, and you did a great job. I particularly enjoyed the Matt DeFranks interview. Actually made me like consider throwing some money at a Post-Dispatch description to get his coverage. Dude knows his stuff.
Yeah. And that's what I told him in the interview too, was I said, hey man, listen, no offense to Jim Thomas, no offense to Jeremy Rutherford, but like they were clearly football guys when they took over the beat role. They hired Matt DeFranks as a hockey writer. He has hockey writing experience. So It's
Right.
pretty
First
awesome.
one since Luking.
Yeah, right. And I think I've told him, like, basically almost in my lifetime, outside of Luking, what I can remember, it's always been a football guy that took over the hockey beat. So seeing an actual hockey guy come in and handle it, he does a great job, and obviously he knows the sport.
I fixed it.
Good work, man.
If you refresh your live stream, it'll give you the proper title. I didn't put the details and everything. We'll do that later.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't. There's like, Kurt, you'll find this out when you starting the show now. There used to be you would just hit go live and then boom, it would go live. Now you hit go live and there's like 4 things you got to click. So I just clicked okay. And I guess one of those was probably title your episode, even though I already did that. So whatever. Well, working out the kinks for the last episode of season 13. That's the way I'm going to explain it. Let's get into beers of the episode. We need to figure out our order for the season. How did we close up last season? Does anybody remember?
I think it was me first.
Okay. They played pretty well to end the year. I thought, let's stick with it. Bill, go ahead. You start.
All right. So I am going with Nitro Coffee Ale from that wonderful northern brewery, Se13, out of St. Paul. It's I picked up a 4-pack of this a while ago. Been drinking mostly IPAs and stuff. A lot of Oktoberfests in the last couple of weeks. But this one I wanted to wait for it to turn cooler, and it has kind of. So I thought it was appropriate. Really pours like a Guinness, but it has a lot more flavor. Nice, really good coffee flavor to it. Another great offering from Se13.
Nice. We'll go to Curtis next. How about you, sir?
If I can get this bottle out of its condom. There we go.
That's what she said.
Bottle's about right. Shock Top Twisted Pretzel. I saw it in the store the other day. I love pretzel beer.
Yeah,
you've
had that one before.
I have. Oh yeah, I buy it whenever I can, and it's in the fall, typically, or prior to fall. But anytime there's a pretzel beer, O'Fallon has one as well. I think it's quite tasty, very good. I love pretzel beers.
Very nice. Speaking of seasonal beer, I have not seen O'Fallon's pumpkin beer yet. Have you guys? I've seen Schlafly. They've released theirs, and I think Urban Chestnut has a version. But my favorite, as I say every year, is the O'Fallon. I am yet to see it in stores.
Yeah, it's all over here.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Well, you know what?
I'm pretty sure I did see it at Schnucks. So,
all right, Bill, tell you what, tomorrow I will play hockey with you, and I'm going to stop at a Schnucks on the way and pick up some pumpkin beer.
Yeah, there's a Schnucks 5 minutes from the rink. So
there you go. All right, yeah. I'm in.
Yeah.
All right, count me in.
I did pick up the Schlafly vanilla pumpkin.
Yeah.
And that's nice.
See, I like the vanilla pumpkin.
Night.
Yeah, I like the vanilla pumpkin, but I like the original a little better. They've got like a campfire pumpkin one, and I do not like that one. And then I think there's another variant, like a caramel. It's like a caramel pecan pumpkin or something. I don't like that one either. But yeah, the vanilla is good, but I like the original the most. And for me, I'm actually going beerless tonight. I'm rocking that ID Life out of a Gatorade bottle. I like how I gave them a little promotion. But I think that's like blasphemous. That's like drinking a Busch out of a Urban Chestnut bottle. But
Urban Chestnut out of a bush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Rocking that ID Life, doing the watermelon tonight. Just sounded good to me. I was like, beer's good, but getting a little hydrate, little Gatorade type flavor sounds good for the evening. So that's what I went with.
Beer's mostly water, so you can hydrate with beer.
That is true. Very true. All right. So there's a lot of preseason stuff we could discuss, a lot of training camp stuff we could discuss. I've been watching the preseason games. I don't know about you guys, but I have not watched tonight's yet. I will watch that tomorrow, even though apparently they lost 3-0. Spoiler alert. Yeah, I have watched them, and I do have some commentary a little bit on some of the younger guys that I've seen, but we're going to skip all that tonight. We're going to save that for the season preview show because we want to get into Mystery Hockey Theater. It's a fun game to watch. We want to share it with you. So we're going to get into that here in a minute. There is one piece of information we did want to discuss very quickly right off the bat here. So for those that don't know, if you haven't seen it, Bill was one. He did not know that this was a thing because it was very quiet that I think this was released. The Blues partnered with Victory Plus for preseason streaming. That is an app. It is a free app. It's the first live sports broadcast they did was on this past Saturday, September 21st. The Blues opened the preseason against Dallas. I'm looking at this as a possible sign of things to come in the future with Bally up in the air. The initial broadcast from Dallas carried the home team's visual graphics and commentators, and then subsequent broadcasts, which tonight was one of them. They were presented with an audio simulcast from the Blues flagship radio partner 101 ESPN, featuring play-by-play from Chris Kerber and analysis by Joey Vitale. And then I thought this quote was interesting from Blues president and CEO of business operations, Chris Zimmerman. He says, quote, "We look forward to returning to Bally Sports for our regular season and first round playoff broadcasts in 24-25 and are progressing towards being able to share full local broadcast details with our fans in advance of this regular season." And I say that's interesting because the way he said
first round
progressing towards being able to share full local broadcast details. There's a lot of adjectives were thrown in there.
You know what I took out of that? Regular season and first round. We're making the playoffs this year, boys.
Oh, well,
Chris Zimmerman guarantees it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. No, that's super exciting because I sat down Saturday night to watch that game because it was on ESPN Plus and they didn't block it out, and it was the Victory Plus feed, and I thought it was a great job.
Yeah.
It was the Dallas broadcast. They are one of the first to sign on with them. I think Dallas and Anaheim, and there's one other team, I think one other hockey team and several other sports teams. But I've been doing a lot of research trying to figure out what am I going to do for Blues coverage this year, because I canceled Spectrum after the Blues got eliminated from playoff contention last year. So I don't watch Cardinals games, so I got tired of paying that as much as we were to Spectrum, and DirecTV is the best option, but it's more expensive than Spectrum. So we moved to YouTube TV. I've been happy with it. I just don't get Bally's, and what am I going to do when the season comes around? I looked into Bally's, the Bally's Plus subscription, and everything I've read is the app's garbage and it doesn't work a lot of times. So
no, it does not.
Don't really want to go there. So give me another option, Blues. And the biggest thing that I took from all of this was frustrating as hell to find out any information. Right, the most up-to-date information they had was that the bankruptcy was proceeding and that they had made agreements with the NHL and the NBA, so that they expected to broadcast through the end of this season at least. But didn't say anything about the app or alternatives.
Well, I just pulled up the Victory Plus. I just registered, and I'm watching Blues and Blue Jackets right now.
Yeah, it's very easy. It's
so
it's free.
simple.
It's free for preseason. I could be wrong. Stars or Ducks fans, if you're listening, please correct me. But I'm pretty sure their full season is going to be on there, and you can just stream it for free, which is incredible.
Nice. Now, I have ESPN Plus, so and I have Bally's, I have Spectrum, I have DirecTV. So that's, this will be interesting. That was super quick and simple.
Yeah. And that's what I love is anyone who says like, oh, don't go to streaming, nobody wants it. Dude, you can download the app on your phone and send it to your TV It's so simple. It's easier than Apple TV when they have the baseball games.
Their left menu consists of on Victory Plus consists of home, Dallas Stars, Anaheim Ducks, Red Bull, and Dude Perfect.
Yep, that's literally all that's on there right now. Which, hey, it's starting out, and I'm glad the NHL's already on board with it. That's the way.
Are they based in Dallas? They have to be, because Dude Perfect is based in Dallas. They have the Dallas Stars. That seems like they're probably based on there.
Possibly, no idea. But still, I love this. It might be a sign of future things to come in the future. I don't know if it'll be Victory Plus, but I do think the Blues are open to figuring out something, because they know how unhappy fans are with Bally's. Plus, Bally's may not even be around in a year. So, the fact that the Blues are being proactive with this and looking into other options, I'm all for it. And like Bill said, I thought the broadcast, I watched the Blues and Dallas game on there. I watched just in the background, I had, I think it was it Dallas and Colorado the other night too? I turned that on in the background the other day, and I just thought, this is just as good, if not better, than Bally's, and this is free. So it makes it better than Bally's.
Whatever it is, I just hope they do streaming right, whether it's Victory Plus or ESPN Plus. ESPN Plus, to me, last season worked great. I loved a lot of the stuff on ESPN Plus. I hated the fact they jacked the price up for this season. That sucks. But it is what it is. Still, with all the content they're offering, and with as many hockey games I watched during the season, it's still a good deal. What is it? I've 100 whatever it is now is cheaper than NHL Center Ice was back in the day. Plus, you get so much more content. So, if you compare it to that,
And I'll say too, if they were to just say all games will be on ESPN Plus, and they jack the price up even more, I'm okay with that.
If you can watch your home games,
your own games, because then you're not having to pay for anything else, and I'm okay with that.
Right. Get rid of the blackout. I mean, seriously, I get as part of the Disney bundle through my cell phone provider, I get ESPN Plus. Yeah. So, I'm barely, I don't even feel like I pay for it.
Right. ESPN. Yeah. With the bundle, if you watch Disney Plus, if you use ESPN Plus, I mean, it's funny how streaming services has almost turned into cable. Like everything's like, if you want to watch everything, you have to get half a dozen different streaming services. And like a number of years ago, most everything was on Netflix.
Yep.
And Hulu was kind of free at the time. And that's what you watched. And now it's all fragmented and a mess.
Yeah. Very messy.
So we'll probably have more on this next week, I would imagine. Plus, we'll have watched a couple games on Victory Plus that has the 101 ESPN broadcast simulcast. So we'll have a little bit more details on that next week. But I thought I wanted to get that out there to our listeners, just in case you didn't know, that you'll be able to watch from this point forward, except for the last game, which I don't know if you saw. It's the game in Wichita. I think it's in Wichita. Blues and Blackhawks. Apparently, there is going to be no cameras there at all. And
it's
again,
just so weird.
2024, fellas. Come on.
The ghost of Bill Wirtz insists.
Whenever there's no cameras at a professional preseason game, I'm like, get the local college, AV team to go there, broadcast team to go and do it.
That there's a hockey team that plays in that arena, so just let them run with it. Give them the full NHL experience.
Let them stream it to their YouTube channel or something, and just let them have it. You're not going to do anything with it. I don't. Sometimes people just they triple over themselves and drop the ball. They can't. I don't know. It just seems so.
Red tape is sometimes placed where there doesn't need to be any tape at all.
I know.
Yep, it's ridiculous. Well, anyway, but other than that last game, from this point forward, you can watch all the Blues preseason games on Victory Plus. So download that app. It is well worth it. It's free. Kurt literally just signed up in the time that it took for me to explain it. So
you don't have to download it. You can you can go view it in a browser on your desktop too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true too. And no, they're not paying us. I just think it's a great product, and I'm really happy to see the Blues looking in other avenues. NHL in particular.
Do you have it on your phone? App on your phone, Jeff?
No, I didn't download the app.
We should see if you can cast it to a TV.
Yeah, I'll try that. You should be able to, but we'll see.
Sometimes they block it.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. Well, anyway, before we get into, we're getting ready to get into talking about a time period where casting things from your phone to your TV seemed impossible.
Can you imagine? In 1991, yeah, you're going to be able to stream a game from your phone to your television. Like, what?
Nope.
The thing on the wall with the cord?
You're insane.
Yeah.
I was like, hockey game we streamed on my phone.
I remember.
Yeah, and next you're going to tell me my refrigerator is going to talk to me too.
It will, Jeff. It will.
Oh,
no!
What?
I remember the Mark McGwire home run chase. I had one of those.
Do you know where your children are?
Sorry,
Screw
Bill.
you, Bill, and your thoughts.
You're fine. No, I had during the McGwire home run chase. I had one of those pocket black and white TVs that tuned like a AM radio, and I carried that around. When McGwire was chasing the record, and I never caught anything on it. And I thought, oh my god, this is like when somebody gave it to me, I was like, this is the greatest thing of all time. Never worked.
Outside the house.
Never worked.
We all did this, right? You take your cordless phone into your car, and you drive it down the street and see how long you can talk on it before it broke up and you lost signal.
Oh, me, I would just walk out to the backyard and see how far I could go.
Yeah,
and
like, I'm outside the house. I'm in the neighbor's backyard talking on the phone. This is so wild.
Yep. All right. Well, we are when we get back, we will travel back to 1991, and we will look at the Blues and Red Wings in Game 7 of the Norris semifinal. You are listening to Jeff, Kurt, and Bill on Let's Go Blues Radio.
We'll return after these messages.
As a hockey player, Mike Burgoyne knows a thing or two about making the perfect play. And when it comes to real estate, he's always ready to score the winning goal for his clients. If you're a first responder, a veteran, a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, or a Let's Go Blues radio listener looking to score the home of your dreams, you'll receive special rates with Mike. Go ahead. Shoot some questions his way, and he'll have the answer quicker than Curtis Joseph on a breakaway.
Curtis Joseph got the paddle down!
Any barriers? Mike will mow them down like Chris Pronger in front of the net. He'll score you your dream home or sell your existing home faster than a Brett Hall one-timer.
Put past the Hall, he shoots, he scores!
See Burgoyne's real estate prowess in action today by emailing him at mike@strikewithmike.com or by calling 314-753-4060. That email again is mike@strikewithmike.com, and that phone number is 314-753-4060. Getting Mike Burgoyne on your team will be the boost your power play needs.
Well, honey, I just priced the power washing for the house, and I think we should just move and condemn this place. It'll be cheaper.
Did you try Wolf Power Washing?
Who?
Oh, I just saw this guy win the Stanley Ponder Cup Memorial Tournament and thought he was attractive. So I looked him up on social media, and it turns out he's the owner and proprietor of Wolf Power Washing. He claims he has the best prices in town.
But does he use non-flammable, non-toxic chemicals that are safe for Wolfie and our son, Little Magnus?
Yes. He ensures there'll be no residue left behind, and he doesn't use any volatile vapors.
Well, this fella sounds like a dream. I just wish I knew how to contact him.
Oh, I know how. You can reach him at 314-420-5434.
314-420-5434, and his name is Joe Wolf of Wolf Power Washing?
That's right.
But how did you know his number so quickly?
I'll never tell.
Wait, what?
That's Wolf Power Washing at 314-420-5434. And make sure to tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you.
And now, back to Let's Go Blues Radio, the longest running St. Louis Blues podcast with Price, Ponder, and Day.
I hope you guys are ready. Here we go. So first of all, before we get into this game, a couple notes that I wanted to mention. Basically, how did we get here? How did we get to this point in 1991, Game 7 semifinal between the Blues and the Red Wings? The Blues finished the season with a very good record of 47, 22, and 11 for 105 points, which was second in the Norris Division. The Blackhawks finished first with 106 points. The Red Wings finished the season with a 34, 38, and 8 record of 76 points which was third in the Norris Division. Can you imagine making the playoffs now with 76 points?
Under 500, 76 points. Yeah. Well, this was before the overtime point and everything too.
Right. Still. And the league was a little more top heavy too. There was your elite teams, and then
fewer
you had
teams.
Fewer teams too, for sure. This was also Brett Hall's remarkable 86 goal season. He tallied 131 points, while his center Adam Oates, one of our co-hosts, one of his favorite players of all time, scored.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say Adam Oates scored 90 assists and 115 points that year.
And Brett Hull had the most goals scored in a season ever by an NHL player on a goalie.
Yes. He had 0 empty net goals
because
that season, which is
Gretzky's
insane.
92-goal season, he had something like 12 empty netters or something like that, 14
Something
empty
like
netters.
that. Yep. So Detroit took a 3-1 series lead against St. Louis, but the Blues rallied to outscore Detroit 9-1 in games 5 and 6. That included a Vincent Riendo shutout in game 6 to force a game 7. Heading into this game, the leading scorers were Brett Hall with 7 goals, 5 assists, and 12 points. Adam Oates with 4 goals, 7 assists, and 11 points. Jeff Brown, Blues defenseman, friend of the show, 2 goals, 5 assists, and 7 points. And then Steve Yzerman bringing up the rear, 3 goals, 3 assists, and 6 points. So here we go. We are going to get into this game. Oh, hang on a second.
I'll get the overlay.
Please do. There we go. We are good to go. Here we go. You guys hear that okay, right?
Yeah, good enough.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, we got a little bit of a fuzz. It's an old game, so that's going to happen, but still a very exciting game as we get a look here at Tim Shovelday in net.
Yep. Vincent
Riendo for the Blues.
Earlier in this series, there was the incident between Probert and Riendo.
Yep.
Where Probert Riendo, just flat out punches him.
I was at, I think it was the first 2 games of this series in St. Louis. And that was the game the Blues won, game 2.
A fun fact about coming back from a 3-1 deficit. The last team to come back from a 3-1 deficit was, this is 1991 talking, it's last year's Edmonton Oilers, who defeated Winnipeg en route to their 5th Stanley Cup in 7 years. Others to accomplish the feat were Los Angeles in 1989, Washington in 1988, Detroit and Islanders in 87, and the Islanders in 75, and Toronto in 42. So there were a few in the 80s, one in the 70s, and before that, it was 33 years between comebacks from being down 3-1.
That's crazy. Yeah, I remember when they did it in 99, Ken Wilson commenting that like it had only happened like twice in 30 years or something ridiculous. Now it seems like it happens almost every year.
Yeah, it's happened. I mean, it's funny how it works because there was, like the stat says, there were 3 in the 80s and 1 in the 70s, and before the 70s it was 1942.
That's crazy. Bobby Basson, my dad's favorite player of all time.
He was such an underrated, just defensive badass. He'd fight.
Yeah,
he was a good style player.
Yeah, your cousin Jeff's favorite box score of all time from the Post-Dispatch was Wayne Gretzky takes a cross-checking penalty against Bob Basson. Because Bass just hounded him, pissed him off, and Gretz lost his cool.
That is Rich Sutter, by the way, playing right wing, and Brian Sutter is the head coach of the Blues at this time.
Yes, but this was before Ron Sutter was here, because Dan Quinn, spoiler alert, scores the first Blues goal, and he was traded the following season with Rod Brindamore for Murray Barron and Ron Sutter.
That's
So
true.
you know that Ron Sutter is not on the team because Rich Sutter's jersey, his name on the back just says Sutter.
Sutter.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't
Not
say
his
Rich
full
or
name.
Ron.
Yes.
I always thought at the time, I was like, oh, they can't put R Sutter. And I guess they can't put Sutter because there were two, next to be two Sutters. But I'm like, so what? The number differentiates them. Just put Sutter on the back. There's no way in hell today they put the full name on the back of the jersey.
Well, I was wondering with the Joseph brothers if that was going to happen this season with P.O. and Matthew, but they're just going with Joseph. Although I do think it's funny that they're 71 and 77. And I was like, could you have picked two numbers that look more similar from far away?
Right. Well,
screw with John Kelly and Chris Kerber's calls.
P.O. is I was shocked how tall that dude is.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
We had a couple of guys in that Dallas game that were super tall.
Yeah. Nelson Emerson.
Yeah, this 1991, and a couple years prior, and about 3 or 4 years after, my favorite era of NHL hockey by far.
Yeah,
by far. Just the style, what they could and couldn't do is just it was more scrappy, more. They got away with clutching and grabbing, but I kind of liked it in a weird way. I don't know, just the equipment, what the goalies wore. It was just a really cool era.
Yeah.
Oh, that was wrong. That was not Nelson Emerson.
No, that's Dan Quinn. Yeah,
Dan Quinn was 7 here.
Yeah. So the thing for me about this that hits the most nostalgic feels is the very first version of, and it wasn't even NHL 93. It was NHL PA 92, the first Sega game that had any kind of sponsorship. And so this was the team for the Blues, right? Oates, Hull, Lowry.
Yeah.
The following year, NHL 93, which is probably the greatest video game of all time, it was Janny.
Yeah.
NHL 94, I would argue, is better, but
94 is better.
That's yeah. Oh. How does Hully miss that?
93 was PA.
That's what I thought.
Right.
93 was PA.
So 92 was
92
nothing.
was no 92 had teams.
I'm pretty sure EA's
numbers
first,
but no names, right?
I'm pretty sure EA's first NHL game was NHL PA, the 93 one.
No, it was 92 was the first one.
It's not like we don't have the Googles at our disposal.
I had 92. I think 93 was the first one that had names, wasn't it?
Yeah, because that was
NHL
PA.
Yep.
Somebody correct us if we're wrong.
Darren
Kimball
Kimball
knockdown.
playing in a Game 7.
Never happened today.
Yeah,
no.
Not a chance.
Friend of the show, Darren Kimball.
If there's anyone that's not a friend of this show, it's him.
Yes, that is definitely true.
And it's not. Yeah, I think. Well, that goes way back. That goes way back to when him and Rivers kind of hated on us for a little bit.
For no fucking reason.
Yeah, they had that show where they showed up sometimes on the. What was it? Whose show was it?
We had him on, Jim Cromer.
Yeah, that's right. What was the name of their podcast?
Blues NHL podcast?
I think you're right.
Not to be completely confused with the Blues Hockey Podcast.
Yes, because that wasn't confusing at all.
No. It's like read the room. Know what podcast names are out there.
Terry Gregson with the call there.
The Mark Messier helmet he's wearing.
Oh, the tucked in white shirt in the crowd. I love.
Hey, look for the guy in the blue. Away jersey at the time, and glasses and a beard. They always put him on screen when the Blues scored. He was cheering. Look for him. Glasses, beard, blue Blues jersey. They'll show a close up of him.
So first power play of the game here. That was what was that called?
Keith Primo interference.
Keith Primo for interference. Yep. There was a fair amount of penalties in this for a Game 7. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 penalties.
Yep, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against St. Louis.
Yep.
And only 2 were canceling, roughing at 3:18 of the third.
That's a fucking dive. Bobby Dallas. What the fuck, buddy?
One of my favorite plays in Puck Doku, Bobby Dallas.
Yeah. Played for a shit ton of teams.
Yes, he did. That?
That's Dave Tomlinson.
Dave Tomlinson. Holy cow. Felsner was 9. Felsner was 9, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
The great Denny Felsner.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps the worst Blues player to ever wear number 9.
Denny Felsner sounds to me. No, he's not.
No.
Denny Felsner to me sounds like a relief pitcher in the '90s for the Cardinals.
Yes.
Oh, and he wants the righty. Denny Felsner is coming in to close this game out.
They want the righty on righty matchup. And the style of hockey is just, I mean,
it's run and gun.
Yeah, it's run and gun. It's more entertaining, and there's the skill level is not what it is today by any means, but that was kind of cool in a way. It was a little sloppy. It was a little running, little freewheeling, Wild West kind of thing. Before the left wing lock came along. Scott Stevens. Man.
What a nice play there, too, to drag the leg and take that puck away. Oh, Oates, that bomb loses the puck at the blue line.
Something about John Kelly's call, too, like his something about the way he's calling the game, I enjoy more now than today.
Yeah, it was more in the moment, and I don't know.
More, you could feel the tenseness in his voice.
Yeah,
I mean it's a Game 7, but
yeah. I mean, look at that.
This is great.
The Jofa helmet with the cat eye cage. Like I wore the Jofa goalie helmet, the Tommy Soderstrom model, in high school, and I loved it. Would love to have gone cat eye, but it was never
Did they allow
legal.
cat eye? Because the blade
never
fit
legal.
through the blade fit through the cat eye.
Yep.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yep.
But yeah, this era, instead of doing homework, what I would do is spend all my time paging through the Hockey News and the Gunzo's catalog.
Yes.
Drooling over what goalie equipment I couldn't afford.
Have you been up to Gunzo's?
No, that is like the next time I get like time to kill in Chicago, I'm going.
I went about 10 years ago, 10 or 11 years ago. Actually, shit, it was probably longer than that, about 15 years ago. And it was funny because I was, I was a broke college kid, so it was probably about 15 years ago. And by the way, we are moving forward here in the action. We're going to the 8:53 mark of the first period. But yeah, I went with a bunch of non-hockey people to Chicago, and I was like, we're going to Gunzo's. And I made them go, and it was the tiniest little shit shop compared to what we see now, with pure hockey and all those different places. But it was like, oh my God, I'm in Gunzo's, and like there's hockey, there's men's league hockey going on. It was like a Saturday afternoon, and I just was like soaking it in. Everybody's like, can we go now? And I'm like, 5 more minutes, please, guys, come on.
Yeah. No, last year when I was buying, putting all the equipment back together, like I tried to, I wanted to order something from there, but they don't really even have a website.
Yeah.
So like, oh, man, always wanted to order a full set from Gunzo's, and I guess I will never get that experience.
Unfortunately. Ken Morris chimes in the chat, says goalies look small wearing that old gear. Yeah, they look kind of like how the skaters look now. Like they just look like chest protectors now.
Yep. Yeah, the both goalies in this game repping Vaughn pads, which were all the rage, and then the following year started seeing a lot more of the Heatons.
The hell's on Oates' jersey?
Blood, I believe, was from the previous home game, which is hilarious because that would never happen now.
No, he have a brand new jersey that next game.
Yep.
Ooh.
Gary Shuchuk.
Mm-hmm. God, I don't know. We watch a ton of, when we do these mystery hockey theaters, we watch a lot of Blues and Red Wings because there's so much history there.
Yeah.
But God, it makes me just miss the Red Wings being in this division.
Yeah.
Yeah. Screw them for wanting to have easier travel.
Yeah. I know. Dicks.
And this is what offside. I
think it was a
penalty.
It was a trip on Adam Oates.
The Budweiser, the Pepsi, and the K95 ad on the boards. This jersey's a mess.
I know, it's a mess. Adam's a mess.
Dave's a mess.
We got the Baked Beaver chiming in. How y'all doing tonight? Beaver, you I don't know.
Oh,
if
that's
you
a terrible call. That's a terrible call.
You probably didn't watch this. I don't think you were into hockey back then, but this would have been when you were probably 5 years old.
It's a bad call, by the way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, a ticky-tack call in a Game 7. Like,
they were
crazy.
Yeah, they both kind of bumped into each other at the blue line, fighting for a spot.
I guarantee you that when that happened, my dad probably looked up and said, God damn it, Red Wings paying off the officials again.
That last attempt to gain the zone, amazing Bob Basson back checking on Sergei Fedorov.
He was, again, my dad loved him and always used to rave. And I remember when I was a kid and I first started playing hockey, he told me, watch Bobby Basson play, because I started as a forward.
Two-line pass.
Yeah, two-line pass. I was like, Bob Basson, you want me to watch him and not Brett Hall? And he's like, you're not going to be Brett Hall. You are going to be Bob Basson, because you got to work. Nobody's given that talent typically. Like, Brett Hall had that natural talent. Bob Basson's the type of guy that just put the work in and was a heck of a hockey player for it. So very underrated.
Well, what's the quote? Hard work wins when talent doesn't work hard.
Yeah,
something like that.
Something like that.
And you see it a lot. The talent doesn't give it 100%, and you see these players that aren't as talented, but they're working harder, and they get the better. And that was the MO of the Blues for quite a while.
Oh yeah,
they were what they call a lunch pail team. They would put their hard hats on, and they would go to work. And they weren't the most talented team out there, but they would not be outworked.
All through the late 80s into the early 90s, you had to have a third and fourth line that was nothing but checkers.
Yep.
Right? You had Basson, you had Ron Wilson,
Rick Mahar.
Right? Rick Mahar was the captain of the team.
Mm-hmm.
This team loved that, and it really, I think, all flowed from Brian Sutter, right? And Plaguers before him.
Yeah.
And that's why, and that's obviously, teams that are high flying and high scoring are fun, and the fans love them. But there's just something about a team that just works their ass off, and they're not quite as talented, but they work harder, and you just kind of fall in love with that kind of team.
Well, I think that's part of the reason. Obviously, they won the cup, but the 2019 Blues, why a lot of Blues fans still pine over that team, because yes, they had the talent, they had the O'Reillys, the Petrangelos, but they also worked their asses off. I mean, you saw the forecheck that just worked so well for them, from Barbashev, Maroon, all these guys that typically at the time you didn't really associate with success. Oh, we see a Blues goal here. I'll shut up.
Adam Oates with a great split the D pass.
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn goes top shelf.
Oh, jersey tucked in. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Shirt tucker.
Look at the early 90s. Yeah, he's got 3 guys on him.
Look
And
at
he
that.
just,
Oh, that's
beauty.
just like seeing the play before
Ooh.
it develops. That's just fantastic.
Kurt,
It's
young
low
Kurt Price.
stick-
Young Kurt
low
Price just
glove side.
jizzed in his pants a little there.
Yeah.
I mean, he was my favorite player, Adam Oates. Still, I mean, I to this day I would say he is, just because when I started playing hockey, he was my favorite player, and I wanted to be like him, and I tried to play like him.
Yeah. That's everybody's got to have a guy like that, and they're everybody else wanted to be Brett Hull, so good on you.
I mean, it's true. I was like, being Brett Hull seemed like, everyone wants to be 16 Brett Hull. I get it, but I enjoyed passing. So
Did you guys catch that right there?
There was an octopus.
Somebody
Yeah.
threw an octopus on the ice, and this
Odd-
game is in St. Louis.
Odd timing.
Yeah. And the Blues just scored.
Yeah, odd timing. It's like, it wasn't a Blues fan that threw the octopus.
Was it maybe a blind fan?
It's almost like Detroit fans hadn't figured out the octopus quite yet. When to throw it? I don't know. Maybe it was just getting tired of holding it.
Yeah. I'm just going to throw this out first.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of
chance
this.
to
Whatever.
This thing is too close
bag-
to my anus. I
The
need to get
bag's
rid of
leaking
it.
down my pants. No, thank you.
Blues legend Mario Marois.
Mario Marois, 44.
So we are moving forward in the action here to the 17-14 mark of the first period.
Speaking of that, the octopus, what a weird thing to do. You know what I mean? Like to throw a dead carcass on the ice. It's just kind of weird.
But what's weirder, right? It's got to be Nashville with the catfish.
Yeah,
Catfish.
that's just pathetic. I think
It's derivative.
yeah.
It's copying from the Red
yeah.
Wings. Like, come up with your own thing.
Do your own. Oh, it is different. It's a catfish. No, it's the same thing.
It's the same idea. Do something better.
Yeah, do something different. They try though. They try to have chance and everything. And it's just, God love them. They're nice fans. I've interacted when we went there for games. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
Nashville fans are so great, but they really look bad when their chance just, for me, they fall flat. They're kind of not creative. I don't know.
We got some rough stuff going on here.
Love the rough stuff.
It's Jeff.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Fedorov coming in there.
And he gets a cross-checking penalty.
He's the only one getting a penalty on this play.
Yep.
There was a lot of rough stuff there behind the net.
Oh, I haven't thought about that. Tackla. Do you guys remember Tackla Pros?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Is that Korolev?
This is pre-Korolev.
Pre-Korolev.
Yeah, we got.
That was fine.
Fedorov was falling, and Brown was just trying to finish his check.
Yeah.
But then he went
his
in
helmet's
under.
Yeah. His helmet was in front of his face, and he went face first into the glass. That had to hurt. Oh man.
And you had Stevens and Burr getting into it behind the net too. And I, watching that play, I'm like, man, right now all 4 of those guys would be in the box.
Yeah.
A young Fedorov in the box. Such a good player. Jesus.
Yeah.
First friend of the show, Jeff Brown.
That was a great interview, by the way. I've said it before that you had with him on the show.
He was a good interview. He was fun. He on this show, one of my takeaways when I'm old and not doing this show anymore, and we've passed it off to our kids, and Bill's dogs. I will always take away the Greg Millen, Jeff Brown stories.
Yes, that's
from
fantastic.
both sides.
It is so good.
I love
Have you spliced together the 2
I need
videos to have almost like a conversation or something? That'd be kind of fun.
I should do that. I should have a reel of those 2 together. That's a good call.
Yeah. Put games back on Channel 11. Wasn't there
I was just thinking that.
Wasn't there a rumor that with Bally's kind of being up in the air that Channel 11 was going to maybe swoop in?
I heard that. I heard Channel 4 because Channel 4 just bought one of those, like, what are those channels called? The like 4.2 or whatever.
Oh, the HD.
They bought one of those, and there's a rumor that they're going to start showing, like, I think they're showing like a bunch of Mizzou sports now, and there's rumors that they're talking about picking up the Blues rights, which would be awesome.
I just enjoyed, Channel 11, hometown station, just doing the games. I mean, they didn't have all the games. There were probably a dozen they didn't have on TV, but
yeah, which was just like, I mean, in today's day and age, it's unthinkable. Unthinkable.
Kids. Back in the day, there were probably a dozen or maybe more games that were not on TV during a season at all.
So first period's over, and the Blues have a 1-0 lead on Dan Quinn's goal from a beauty pass.
There goes Shovel Day.
80 minutes of shutout hockey by Vinny Riendeau at this point.
And we are in the second period now.
He had some. Riendeau had a nice cup of coffee here.
Yeah.
Ken Morris is asking us, any Blues exhibition games to be aired on TV? You might not have seen the start of the show, Ken, and I don't think it's different in Canada, but there's an app and even just a website, Victory Plus. They are showing all the Blues preseason games. It's completely free. Kurt literally signed up while we were on the show. It took him 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's so simple.
Out.
There's nothing to it. You sign up, you log in, the games are right there. You don't have to jump through hoops or dig down in the menu like ESPN Plus. They're all right there in your face just as soon as you log in. Dallas Stars games too, and Ducks too.
Yep. And Red Bull.
And Red Bull and Dude Perfect.
Dude Perfect.
That's what you get.
There was a brief period where my nephew was obsessed with Dude Perfect.
You know what? For a while, I enjoyed this stuff quite a bit. My son did too.
Yeah, they're good.
They're fun, and I mean, we're one of the top YouTube channels too, as far as followers goes for a while.
I don't know what that is. I just hear Bro Dude.
You've never seen a Dude Perfect video?
I don't think so.
They do they used to do just exclusively like trick sports shots and stuff, like unbelievable trick shots on different things, which was wow. It's fun. And now they've ventured into a couple different channels, I think, and they do like some kind of challenges and all kinds of stuff, or they discuss stuff on a panel at a desk too sometimes. They have a huge complex in Dallas.
Yeah, I don't really watch any of that. I still the old stuff, and then because they still do that stuff every now and then. That's the stuff I'll watch.
The old stuff's better.
Yep.
They do some comedy skits and stuff now too on other channels and stuff, but their old stuff's the best.
Yeah. That's something right there that always throws me off watching these old games. The face-offs and the random spots on the
ring.
Yeah.
So like 3 feet inside the blue line.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
That and the
Ooh.
Look at those saves from Shovel.
Come on, Bobby.
Man, Curtis Joseph sitting on the bench right now thinking, I'm going to punch him in the face one day.
No, the backup goalie for the Blues at this point is Pat Jablonski.
Oh, that's right.
Cujo is still at Wisconsin.
I want to say he played this season.
No, Joseph played 30 games for the Blues this year.
Did he?
Yep. Yeah, he did.
Huh.
30 games, and the next year he played, I think, in 61.
Huh.
And let's see the numbers. Yeah,
I'm not sure why he didn't back up in this series, though, because you're right. They did play Jablonski for a very short period in this series.
Jablonski only played 8 games during the season, which is weird. Maybe. And
is that a veteran thing?
I mean, his numbers were slightly better in 8 games, which is too small a sample size.
Small sample size, yeah.
I mean, and it really, Riendeau's numbers and Joseph's were pretty similar.
Yeah. But how did Paris Duffus do? That's the real question.
It was Doofus. It wasn't Duffus. It was Doofus.
Doofus. Just like my dad, even though we liked him, Dave Lowry, we always called him Dave Lousy.
You know, we talked about the Blues record when the show started.
Look at that hook.
Yeah.
Second in the NHL in the division, and they were third overall in goals for. And they were, fourth in goals for and third in goals against. That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's greatest show on turf stuff right there, right? Greatest show on ice.
It's hard to be up that high in offense and defense.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's why I kind of
goaltender interference.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, it's crazy to say that they've called so many penalties, and you still see all these that are like, wow, how is that one not called?
And it's crazy because the Blackhawks lost in the first round. They were upset, and they had the best record in the division. And so the path was clear for the Blues.
Yep.
And they couldn't get it done against Minnesota in the next round.
Minnesota's the ones that upset Chicago. They their record, they only had 27 wins.
They went to the finals against
39 and 14 for 68 points, and they ended up making the Stanley Cup final.
I remember listening to the Stars and Penguins final in my car on the radio on the way home from work at Design Signs in Fairview Heights. I got that. In Freeburg, at a job in high school, working for a sign painter. And I was driving home from work. It was late, and there was a game on the radio. I'm not sure what station it was on at the time. Maybe I don't know.
It was on Victory Plus.
Victory Plus. But I listened to one of the games. That was kind of crazy. I'm like, this is cool. Paul Cavallini. This is before he lost his finger?
Yes, I think so.
That was the
93
following season.
And you don't have and you had the glove he had on when he lost his finger, right, Bill?
Or it was one
modified.
That they modified so he could practice.
Right, but you.
So
you
was
don't have
the finger in the glove when you got it?
No.
But you don't have that glove anymore?
No. That Red wound up with those.
Oh, so long gone.
Yeah. I still have the A-Bear pads hanging in my garage.
Yeah, you got to keep those.
Those are nice. There's a goal. Yves Racine.
Yves Racine.
Yves. Who cares?
You know, it's interesting when that goal went in. Riendo's how he was on his knees. He wasn't flared out with his pads or anything. It was just kind of
this is the butterfly was only just becoming a thing.
I guess
that went through like 3 players.
Here it is, right?
Too.
He's standing up. Oh, I guess he
went butterfly, but
a little
terrible technique.
His skates were still behind him quite a bit. Yeah, I mean,
it's not a modern butterfly, but he goes down to his knees and it goes straight through him.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see too. They've got a KMOX 1120, KSHE 95, and behind the other goal there's a KLOU 1033.
Yeah.
All of those stations still around.
Yep. I can't imagine KMOX ever going anywhere.
Yeah.
Unless radio just dies as a whole.
Yeah.
Well, I thought there was a chance when the Cardinals left them that something was going to happen, but
the thing with KMOX is they're one of the handful of stations across the United States that are allowed to turn up their signal at night. So they cover a ton of the country. So and that's
why the Cardinals had such a massive following before baseball expansion.
We move forward to about the 10:30 mark of the second period.
Because the Cardinals were the farthest team west for a while.
Yep.
Get the draw cleared behind the Red Wing goal. Now it's sent to the far side. Right point, Butcher gets it.
Bring
This
back
was the
that
year
pe-
the Blues acquired Garth Butcher.
Yeah, I still
in one
hate
of the
trade.
worst trades of all time.
That is, for me, that is the worst Blues trade ever. That'd be just, I mean,
That'd
even
be
though the Blues
Pronger
won,
for Brewer.
yeah. Well,
There
here's
was
the
so
thing.
much chemistry before the trade.
Yeah, and the thing is that Brian Sutter had to have, he had Stevens, but he wanted like a tough stay-at-home defenseman, which Stevens was. I mean, Stevens actually had a good offensive year, but he wanted that extra guy back there, and he gave up a truckload for him and Quinn, and Quinn was a flop here. I didn't think he didn't do much at all. And Butcher, I think a lot of people actually, Blues fans actually kind of like Butcher. I thought he was terrible. I thought he was awful.
Oh, he was so slow.
He was slow.
He would go to make a check and get so out of position.
He led the league though in knocking guys down after they score.
Yes, he was great at that. I don't know, and maybe it's just a favorite player bias. I got to say the Pronger trade trumps that for me.
Yeah,
but
that
is number 2.
Dirk, Momesso, Ronning, Courtnall.
Yeah.
My God.
Oh, look at Chevelday just putting on a clinic. Looking like Bill Day out there in our last skate.
Flopping around like he has no idea what he's doing. It's exactly like me.
Look at the stands too. Look how vertical those seats are.
Yeah. God,
Man.
I love that building.
The players loved it too because the fans were like right on top of the ice.
2-pad stack.
Love it.
Oh.
Hey, I'm gonna throw a guy over my goalie.
Yeah, and it's
you know
like
what?
the
Those helmets
skates are right next to his freaking head.
Those goalie masks, this is before the era of complicated. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the masks nowadays look amazing, but there's something about simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Potvin's helmet. You know, Cheveday's helmet here is quite simple. You know, some of the Cooper Cat Eye helmets and stuff, the ones that don't have any graphics on them at all, just I don't know. More of a simple era. Just kind of like I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, even at this point, Patrick Waugh, you know, his was minimalist.
His was pretty. Yeah, it was simple. It was good. It was just well done. Yeah.
Man, I gotta say, we talk all the time. Best Blues power play of all time. Ranks got to be the Pronger, McInnes, Turgeon, Dimitra, Young, insert player 5. Right here, this power play is pretty damn good. You got Brindamore. Let's see, Brindamore at center with, I think it's Quinn and Hall. And then you got Oates and Brown on the points. I mean, that's
that's
ridiculous.
That era when it was like, you know,
look at that. The battling in front of the net. I love that so much.
I missed that. That was my favorite. Not to keep going back to Pronger, but like that was my favorite aspect of his game, and it's like that's just gone from the game now.
The epic battles between Kachuk and Foote.
Yeah.
In front of the net.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
7:45 left, second period. Blues clear it in. Get it behind the goal. Quinn is there.
And they throw Dave Tomlinson out there.
The founder of Wendy's, right?
Yes.
It's fun to watch. Just kind of coast around and find the open spots. Doesn't have the puck, but he'll coast around. He'll just kind of glide around and find the open spots.
Tomlinson almost got killed by the shot and then cross-checked by 3 different Red Wings.
The Big Beaver
And he
says
just
he
gets
can,
right back up and skates.
he can get Cam Wicks in Colorado.
That's awesome.
To Stevens. Over to Hall on left wing.
Ooh,
Hall lost it, gets it back.
that was intentional.
Centers it. Oates in the far corner. Here's Oates. Right point to Brown. A drive and a
And without having the power play clock like on the screen here, because they didn't do that at this time.
Yeah.
It feels like this power play is just lasting forever.
I know.
It's weird because they double minor. What's going on?
They had the technology to put the clock on the screen. They would do it for a few seconds, like usually late in the game or something. But or late in the period.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't do it all the time, which I always thought was weird. I mean, why not keep it all the time in the corner?
And but it was a camera on the arena clock. It wasn't a digital
because it would shake sometimes.
added. Yeah.
Right. True. Yeah, the on-screen graphics, and again, the on-screen graphics of this era, I just enjoyed. Yes, today they're so much better, like, as far as like they just look better, but I don't know.
Oh, you know what I miss mostly about broadcasts from this era is the features between periods.
Oh yeah,
it's so fucking formulaic now. It's just like, oh, we're gonna cut over to Bernie and Alexa, and they're gonna talk about the goal that was
last time.
Yeah, and then they're gonna come back and they're gonna talk about, they're gonna interview a player and then they're gonna flash up the stats and boom, that's it, back to the game.
Yeah.
We move forward now to the 1845 mark of the second period. Still 1-1.
I always love the things produced by Bud Sports in between periods.
Oh, it was always great. I remember one with
talk on the screen.
Yep. Yeah, why not just have that for the whole game?
I know. Why not? I mean, just stick the camera up there. Maybe it's one they're not using at the time, and they use it for other angles.
Maybe.
Later.
So we got 1 minute, about 1 minute left here in the second period, tied 1-1. I wonder what's going to happen.
Why would you cut it so close to the end of the period? I just don't get it.
Yeah, you would think I would just skip the rest of the period. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess the thing with the no clock and score bug.
This is a famous
Red Hall on the breakaway. Score!
Yep, there it is.
That pass is one of Oates' best passes he's ever made as a Blue. That was fantastic.
That's saying a lot.
If you watch the replay, this is a famous play. They play this as like one of the most impressive Blues plays ever.
Yeah, I mean, and Brett Hall always found a way to get open too. The guy scored 86 goals this year. All the Red Wings coaches are.
Pass. Whoop, and boom,
right on the tape.
Amazing.
But yeah, Hull 86 goals. Somehow, always found a way to get open.
Yeah, look at that. Racine's got his stick right through his arm, and he still goes upper blocker. Beauty.
Man, goal with less than a minute to go in the period. That's
Gloria.
I think that just fell off the charts at this point, though, right?
Yeah, right. And we are at the end of the second with the Blues leading now 2-1 thanks to the Brett Hall goal. Adam Oates, 2 points in this game.
And that's another thing, right? That from that era, the Blues go off to the corner. They don't go through the bench.
Yep.
Right.
Another jersey tucked in.
Great look.
I never did that. I never ever tucked my jersey in.
I never did either. We're at the start of the third here. So again, Blues lead 2-1.
I wanna. Did you ever tuck your jersey in, Bill?
I probably did once or twice, but quickly got rid of that idea. It's just dumb.
I would imagine probably most hockey players rarely did that.
Yeah,
people do that.
It was
didn't really
right, and that was a point of pride and a differentiator, right? If you play the game, you didn't do it.
I guess.
Long drive. That goes wide. Now the puck behind the Red Wing goal. Poked away. Hall centers it. Knocked away. Hall again behind the goal. Here's Hall on right wing. To Oates. Oates trying to walk in front. He does. Backhander.
Ooh.
Chevelday blocked that. Oates on left wing.
Stand-up save from Chevelday.
That shot knocked down in front.
Blues are dangerous.
Gets the
Not
puck.
anymore. Odd place for the NHL playoff logo too. It's there by the boards.
Yeah,
on the ice. Oh, that was fantastic.
What a save.
A little windmill glove save, and the puck flutters over the crossbar behind the goal. Oof.
Lowry lost it. And the Crimmin for Detroit. Clears the puck to center ice for Shutchuk. To the line, not a fender off. Right wing to Shutchuk, a shot.
Be a good trivia question. What year was the last year the Blues had 2 Blue Notes at center ice?
And it goes out of play.
Yeah, because they went to 1 Blue Note eventually, and then they never went back.
I like it much better. I think every team does that now, right? They all have the giant logo.
I think so, yeah.
Did you see what I think it was the Blackhawks. Yeah, what the Blackhawks did with their logo in the locker room.
Yeah, they put it on the ceiling finally.
They've got it on the ceiling now, not on the floor.
Yeah.
I like that. I got to tell you, I'm a big proponent of not stepping on the logo, but I'm also a big proponent of then why put it on the fucking floor?
You know what's interesting about that is that like when we got a tour, season ticket holders got a tour of the arena back in the day, and you got to go through the locker room. They had the logo ripped off.
Yep.
On the floor. So not even like tours that go through would let us step on it. It was just like even when the players were in the building, you couldn't step on it.
Oh, there it is. Rich Sutter makes it 3-1.
Lowry
fourth line coming up big.
That's a line you don't want to play against.
No.
And you know what's not going to happen? A coach's challenge for goaltender interference.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see if there was any. Does Lowry make contact?
Yep,
No.
right there. Today's game,
Sutter.
that comes back.
Did he make contact?
Lowry's skate
Did
made
I?
contact with Shovelday's skate.
Well, Red Wings fans, call this one back. Make them replay this game.
With the same players.
Same players, yes.
But it would suck. The Red Wings have at least 2 players on this team, 3 players that are since deceased. Brad McCrimmon,
yeah.
Sean Burr, and Steve Chason.
God, that's right.
Yeah.
That's someone we haven't mentioned yet. Rick Zombo playing for the Red Wings here.
Yep.
Right.
This was probably his audition to come here.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Oh,
Probert's out there.
shit. Bob Probert.
Yep.
4
Bob
guys
Probert.
off that team.
Yep.
He always looked miserable out there. Like he was just miserable. In pain or something. Never looked
Probably
happy,
always
guys.
running around with a concussion.
Yeah, that is very possible.
23 left in regulation time. Now the Red Wings to center. Miller across the line.
I love it. The player trailing the puck carrier always got a stick in his gut under his arm, hooking, skiing behind the player.
Yeah, water skiing.
Yep.
To the near corner. A shot. And a stick save by Shovelday. Held in by Featherstone.
I remember doing that when I was a kid playing. You'd trailing a guy on a breakaway. You put your stick, you hook him around the gut, and you'd pull yourself up to him to catch him.
There was a play in a recent preseason game. I think it was the Blues and Stars, where I think the Blues had a 2-on-1, and one of the Stars forwards actually cross-checked one of his defensemen in the ass to give him a boost so he could get back faster. And I was like, that's pretty freaking clever. Like, that's a good call. I think you're right. There was contact there.
They just showed that replay that Riendo kind of threw his stick.
Yeah.
To poke check that puck away a little bit, starting that whole play.
You cannot emphasize enough how huge that goal is, and a great play by really all 3 players. Cavallini,
Cybertel Cellular. I don't even remember that company.
I do.
3-1 Blues.
Isn't all 4s Brown and Brown
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
I think so. We should.
That would be a great prank call.
I was gonna say I'm gonna call him.
Cellular.
I was just watching a Blues game. Is this Cybertel Cellular?
I think if you're in St. Louis, you call all fours. If you're in Illinois, you call all eights, right? Brian Brown?
I think that's right.
Now Lowry shoves with McDougal. Bill McDougal. This is his first
God,
game.
Lowry's a monster out there.
Now McKay comes in and shoves it. Rich Sutter. Oh, really, this is what the Blues want.
They didn't log hits back then, did they?
No.
Because Lowry would have been up there in the team lead every year. Close to it anyway.
I think 99-2000 was the first year they logged hits.
Okay. Because Lowry was he was out there just banging. He can score a little.
Detroit sucks.
Lowry had 40 points a year, 19 goals from assists.
Love it.
Now he's in the NHL. And the Blues lead at 3-1. We'll have penalties here. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. Now Bob Basson from the Blues and Randy McKay get roughing calls. Basson does a good job coming out from behind the net, trying to stuff it past goaltender Chevelday.
Just grabs onto him and just takes a punch.
It'd be fun to have an official, like an official in today's NHL, watch a game from this era, maybe a little bit before, and then write down all the penalties he would have called and see how many penalties that this game would have had if it was played today the same way.
Oh my God, it would be triple digits.
Now Butcher back at center ice, takes a check, gets it to Sutter. Now for Butcher to Lowry. He'll backhand it in. Chase on for the Red Wings. Up on right wing to Miller. Through the middle of Fedorov.
It was always funny, like the Blues style, stereotypically dump and chase, right? A lot of teams use that. And it was always funny to hear Sports Open Line and the radio call-in shows and hear fans just complain about dump and chase. I remember that. A lot of people complain about it. Like, you're giving up the puck.
Well, and I get people still to this day complain about it, and I'm like, 9 times out of 10, they're making a line change. Like, that's part of the game.
Yeah, sometimes you have to dump it in. There's a stick hold right there. No, they called it. Wow. In front of the net.
So we are moving forward to the 10:54 mark of the third period, and I believe this is the last time we jump.
This one, he took the shot, a long shot from just inside the blue line. Good low shot. He beats Chevelday, but he hits the post. That was while the Blues were on the power play. Blues still lead 3-1 with 9:06 remaining. Blues out shooting Detroit 6-3 in this period.
Yeah, the other thing about this era, no like licensed music. It's all organ.
Yeah, that's great.
I miss that too. I mean, don't get me wrong. Every now and then they'll play a banger, and I'm like, all right, I'll get into it. But I miss the organ so much.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's there. It's still used, but I hate. Yeah, I'm with you. I miss exclusively the organ.
I wish that when the Blues,
when it was Ernie Hayes.
Yeah,
the Blues go marching in after goals. Like,
yes. Oh my God.
I mean, on the organ. Like, that's what I want to hear.
Yep. Some of these throwback nights when they have 90s nights or whatever, they should just do organ, just everything. No music, no rock music, no pumped in, just do everything. Do it all the way. The scoreboard. I know they have done the scoreboard graphics before, but just do it all. Even the TV on-screen graphics.
The clock doesn't move very quickly, does it? This time of the game.
Yep, I agree. I think that'd be great. Yeah, like the old, because Budweiser's still a sponsor, so use the old, air an old Budweiser commercial. Like, that'd be awesome.
Oh, that'd be great.
The old Bud Light commercials were amazing.
Mm-hmm. The old Miller Lite.
Give me a light.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I used to like the old Miller Lite commercials with all the sports players and celebrities.
Yeah,
there's 12 of them. Yeah.
The great goalie one with John Davidson and Tony Esposito.
Yes.
Up to Gino Cavallini, knocked down by Probert. Oh, and Paul Cavallini came over and poked it away to center. Zombo flips it back in. Dan Quinn behind the goal. Here's Quinn in traffic, knocked down.
Just pulls a Red Wing down as he's on the ice, and no call.
Oh
my gosh.
Shoots it in. Shovels it ahead on left wing. And it rolls to center. Quinn back to Butcher at his own line.
Oh, Butcher. God.
Yep.
That goal is all Garth Butcher.
I mean, I never liked Garth Butcher. And I remember, like, cussing at the TV.
I mean, he just, that's a beer league play right there.
He falls down.
He falls as he's trying to control the puck. He's the last man back. And, yeah, Jimmy Carson has a clear breakaway, puts
Blues
it
are
in.
playing well. They've kind of got the game. I mean, 3-1 lead, less than, 8 to go or something like that?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that was an exact replica of me like a couple weeks ago. That's how shitty that was.
7:33 to go.
Yeah.
So it's 3-2. Blues have a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, that's Butcher chipped over the blue line.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now this game gets a lot more interesting.
Yep.
Sphincter's got a lot tighter.
Yes. Yes.
There goes your cushion.
The arch just clenched a little bit. Man, I know we've talked about this, but what would have been if Scott Stevens could have stayed a St. Louis Blue?
Yep.
Watch that game. Not much you can do. Garth Butcher really all alone.
Well, if Scott Stevens had stayed at St. Louis Blue, we wouldn't have had Joseph or Brindamore. So,
true.
Because they were the players the Blues offered, and the New Jersey turned down.
I wonder who they would have gone with in goal.
The winner meets the North Stars starting Thursday.
John Casey.
They'll drive it in. Riendo missed it. Fedorov near corner. Bump by Sutter. Back behind the goal.
Well, the Blues were a wheeling and dealing team in that era, so who knows what they would have done.
Yeah.
The Mike Shanahan era.
Yep.
Ron Caron.
Jack Quinn.
Yep.
There's meat on the burner. Yeah.
Who left the paper trail and cost the Blues, actually ended up costing the Blues those picks.
Yep.
Trail. Tampering.
Rando just made a game-saving save right there, and there's a trip. No penalty. Referee has put the whistle away at this point. But the linesmen have not.
6:04 remaining. It was like a Christmas transition there. Weird.
Yeah, this was recorded during the lockout of 2004. They showed a bunch of Blues Classic games, and I tried to record them all. So that little weird transition. I remember being like, "What is this?"
Is ESPN Classic still a channel?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if they show any NHL anymore, though. They should. They got the rights back.
Who's showing the beach roller hockey? Is that ESPN Classic, or is that just streaming somewhere on the internet?
I think that's just on like YouTube.
We should do a mystery hockey theater with a beach roller hockey.
Oh my lord, that would be amazing.
Or a Vipers game or something.
Oh,
Roller Hockey International, baby.
Oh man,
starring Harry Work.
So much fun.
I know a guy that played for them, I think, for a season. I might need to ask him if he has any of his game tape, because that would be incredible.
Oates clears one to Brindamore. Plays it off the boards to center. Red Wings Carson there. He got that goal unassisted.
It's always funny if you've ever played in a big game, a playoff game, where you have a 1-goal lead and there's like less than 5 minutes to go. It's so funny how your mentality you do anything. putting your body in front of everything. You're diving in front of slap shots. It's just all hands on deck, right? Do anything you possibly can to not.
I'm pretty sure I've told this on the show before, but one of my favorite hockey moments ever was, I think it was the Stars Cup run year. Daryl Sador got destroyed by a shot. He couldn't even skate. And because the Stars didn't have possession of the puck, he just crawled to the front of the net. Because he was just like, if I'm going to do anything, I can block a shot. And so he just laid there until the Stars got the puck. And it was just like, holy shit, what a man. You know, like, what a badass.
Chevrolet clears it ahead. And Eiserman for Detroit. That center ice to Fedorov into the blue zone.
Yeah, you know who your gamers are in like men's league. Oh boy. When you got a 1-goal lead late in the game and you see who's
oh my God.
Is it a poke check or did he get the shot away?
No, it was a poke check by Bobby Dallas.
That's what I thought.
But Jeff Brown, a defenseman, on a partial breakaway with under 4 minutes to go in a 1-goal game.
That's Erik Karlsson shit right there.
Yeah.
And something else you wouldn't see today.
Right, he'd be benched.
3:20 to go with that play in the corner where the Blues player went wide and just threw it in front. I'm like, no, he's going to the corner to kill time. Oh, it's a total stick hold by Featherstone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh
referee has put
God.
the whistle away. Oh, what a save!
Everyone's getting hauled down.
Eiserman is just getting, he just got yanked down. Oh, holy. Put the puck just in front of him. Couldn't get to it.
Not Hull's strongest asset was a one-on-one.
No, he was a shooter.
Oh, yeah. He's a shooter.
He's bona fide.
He's bona fide. Touch icing, too.
Yep.
That was a great series there. Great flurry in front. Man. You get excited and you get goosebumps as I'm watching a flipping 33-year-old game or whatever it is.
Yeah, crazy. It just takes you back.
I just love it. You remember where you were watching it? It's just
yep. Oh God. Every shot, you're just like.
Yeah, here's the poke check, and he flips over.
He got puck first.
Yep.
That's a real nice play.
The Budweiser theme on the organ, man.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back and just back in time and just watch myself watch this game.
Sit down, dude in the yellow with the pop collar. Dude's got a pop collar. Come on, man.
Right here, a pop collar.
80s are over. Come on, dude.
Barely.
Nice, Stevens. Bump him off the puck. God, he was so good behind the net. Like, people always talk about the hitting, but, man, he could strip the puck off anyone behind the net.
Yep. Put the fear of God into them that he's going to hit them, and they're just antsy on the puck.
You guys know what happens with 44 seconds to go, right?
Joseph fights Shovel Day.
No. Well, we'll see it, but I'll expand on that.
I don't know if I remember.
Oh yeah, there's and after this game was over, like probably a few years later, I remember that moment differently. I remember what happened at 44 seconds. I remember it happening like right when the buzzer went off. So
you're hurting me because I feel like I should remember this. Oh, police are involved. What's going on? Yeah, we're coming for you.
Throwing beers into the bench.
Probably. Budweiser, play of the game. That beautiful pass to Brett Hall on the breakaway.
Letting it go top shelf over Cheveldae's stick. Cheveldae goes down, and that's our Budweiser play of the game. What a goal by Hall. He had
It always
we will
bothered-
rock you over
It
the.
always bothered me. Play of the game was happening before the game was over.
Yep.
Yeah, we
They do
hated
it
that
today.
too.
They still do it today. It's just I don't. They want to get that
Yeah,
sponsor in.
it's like if the Red Wings score here. You're telling me that's not play of the game?
Well,
Overtime winner? That's
yeah.
not play of the game?
Yeah, I know they want to get their sponsor in, right? The sponsor, because it's sponsored, they're paying for it.
Right.
They'll do it while people are watching.
If I were a sponsor, I'd be like, play of the game to this minute. That's what I'd call it.
So far, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a chase on, tipped in there. Sutter goes back. Sutter gave it away. Fedorov near corner. A minute left in the third.
So here it
Goalie's
comes.
pulled.
The Red Wings have their goalie pulled. Now the Wings steal it behind the goal. Try and center. Butcher knocked it away. Can't clear it out. Held in. Now Butcher again. Has time. Again, can't clear it. Eiserman in front. It's offside though. It did come out.
Oh,
See, Eiserman scores.
but it was offside.
Right, it was offside, and and like years later, I remember that play, thinking that he scored after the final buzzer.
Ooh, this guy is fired up.
So I don't think the crowd knew it at first. But it was offside.
Yeah, and you couldn't see it on TV because you couldn't tell it was offside
Right,
because
the crowd was standing
the
up.
crowd was standing.
Yeah.
You hear that over the intercom? That was a Mr. Tom Calhoun, friend of the show, saying goal was disallowed. How about that?
How about that? Mel Allen. This week in baseball.
Love Twib.
Twib notes, yeah. That was great. It's such a weird thing because you'd watch that show to get baseball highlights for the last week.
Yep.
Yep.
On a Saturday, I guess it was.
I heard, I saw somebody complaining on social media about how SportsCenter is nothing anymore because they don't even show the highlights as much anymore. It's all talk and stupid shit. I'm like, because people don't need SportsCenter anymore. You get instant feedback from everything on the internet now. You don't need a highlight show.
Eisman's all on in front. Look at that.
Yeah, Blues totally mismanaged that one.
Yeah, they have no camera on the blue line, so they can't tell if it actually did come out. But he did put his arm up for offside, so.
His arm go out like this.
Right. Play stop, then start again.
Big moment here, 44 seconds left.
That Jumbotron was at Schmeezing's bar, which was, across the street a little bit from the arena?
Yeah.
They had the Jumbotron above their bar in that cavernous bar, but nobody knows where it is today.
I believe it's in the Armory, which is now closed.
I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, they just closed.
Yeah.
But they don't have the scoreboard.
No, I know. I did see a sign that said that Armory's already been bought, and it was a picture of the Armory with Spirit Halloween sign hanging up.
Yep.
That's great.
Look at this battle in the boards. I mean, jeez. Guys are literally jumping on top of each other.
This is the time in the game. I mean, if you thought there was clutching, grabbing, holding, whatever, dirty stuff before, players don't care now. It's like, we'll take a penalty to avoid a scoring chance in a second.
Well, and you also take into consideration that if the Red Wings take a penalty here, face-off's right where the play ends. It's not doesn't go all the way down like it does now. So it's like we take a penalty, we still have, if we win the face-off, we still have possession.
Is that Brian Murray or Terry Murray?
I think it's Brian Murray. Great question. Let me look.
Detroit. Well, in the other 7th game, Calgary
Brian Murray. Yep.
lead on Edmonton. That's in the 2nd period. So
Could not get the Red Wings over the hump at this point. Because remember, we talked about this before. This was when the Red Wings started to be pretty solid. I mean, they weren't top of the division, but they had a good team, and they could not win a series.
Yeah, they were known as chokers. Well, when they got all the Russian players, they for a couple of years they didn't win in the playoffs, and they were known as chokers.
Yeah, at this point, they didn't win a cup since, what, 64?
It was a long time.
Yeah.
They used to, at Joe Louis, they used to give away cars to get people to come in the building and watch games. No one was watching hockey because they were so bad. They had to give away cars during the game to get people to go in there.
Yeah, that's I remember feeling sorry for Red Wings fans in the 80s, how bad they were.
24 seconds to go.
God, the Red Wings are just all hands on deck.
The clock just jumped from 24 to 9. You see that? I just said there were 24 seconds to go, and then like 5 seconds later, there were 9.
I wonder if there's a glitch in the game coverage. Because this was directly recorded, so yeah, maybe.
There's more than 9 seconds to go. They're gonna look at this, right?
you would think it would be over. You know, Bruce, I thought a lot of time went off that clock.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. I just said there's 24 seconds to go.
Look at Kurt, Mr. Observant.
Hey, I'm nothing if not thorough. Well, there were 24 when I said 24.
Sure it was.
Yeah.
That's great commentary from Bruce
There's
Affleck.
probably about 20 seconds to go.
There can't be more than, or there couldn't have been more than 20 seconds. Sure there was. I always liked Bruce Affleck. I thought he did a decent job.
Oh.
I mean, he wasn't the best, but he was good.
He was the hometown guy, right? He's just he was passionate.
And he had a good flow to him.
Yeah.
Unlike Rob Ramage and
Ramage was awful.
Yeah, he did a lot of work on Cam Wax too. Sports, like he'd do the recaps on games and stuff.
Now Brian Murray talking with referee Terry Gregson.
I thought a huge loss for the Blues broadcast team was Micheletti when he left and went to New York.
Yeah,
friend of the show.
Micheletti was fantastic.
Yep.
That was, not to toot my own horn, that was a good interview. Joe Micheletti.
Somebody throw beer on Brian Murray?
Great stuff.
Yeah, that's what I think all that police activity was.
Okay, yeah, his jacket's wet. It's like a dick. A dick on his back.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
20 seconds went off the clock in that last sequence.
Back in the day when it was like a pain in the ass to figure out how much time was left, and
know
probably a pain in the ass to put it back on the clock. It was like, oh, I can't figure out.
clock
The technology
still
doesn't allow us
says
to put this time.
We have to turn the clock off and turn it back on.
We have to,
No, what they gotta let it run down and then get to 20 and then run it all the way down again.
Yeah.
We'll be back in 19 minutes.
I think they ended up putting too much time back on the clock here.
I should have cut all this out. I apologize.
I think they ended up putting too much time back on the clock, if I remember correctly.
You can't cut this out. It's.
I mean, this was
drama.
part of the game back in the day. Because, yeah, it took forever. There's still times today where it's like, okay, this is taking way too long, guys. Come on.
For the Blues, Carson and Racine for Detroit. Blues had a 1-0 lead, then it was tied up. And they took a 2-1 and a 3-1 lead. Carson's goal at 12:27, unassisted, brought the Red Wings back to within 1.
What are you doing standing up, Tomlinson? You're not getting out there.
You better just be getting ready to bang your stick on the boards, bud.
Isn't Butcher's out there? Butcher Stevens?
19.
Okay, 19. That's about right.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah. I said about 20. So yeah, that's right.
you get the face-off. Still the same
There's
scenario.
Dick Cheney hanging out in the scorekeeper box.
All those guys
I
are
thought that was
old
Gorbachev.
guys in suit, black and white suit.
3-2, the Blues lead. Face off at center. The Red Wing goal again is empty. Bassett on the draw, lost it. Red Wings chase on to Fedorov. Works in, it's offside.
God, you just want this clock to keep ticking, and there's so many stoppages. It's like a basketball game.
That was Red Wings' fault. Offside. How can you go offside there? You can't be offside there.
No.
You gotta get that puck in, and you need all the time on the clock in the world, and you're offside against it. Jeez.
Good job, Tom McLaughlin, and good job by the scorekeeper. Now there's 14 seconds left with another face-off.
At the line. Bassett and Yzerman again. Red Wings get it. Racine to Fedorov. In on right wing.
Onside this time.
Nice
And
poke
Stevens.
check from Stevens. On his back, sends it out.
That'll do it.
Beautiful. That'll do it.
The puck went in the net.
Did it or go wide? It went in?
I think it went in.
Nice. The last time the Blues beat the Red Wings in the playoffs. There it is. North Stars. Are those any of those games on YouTube? Because
I don't think I
shouldn't
have any of them, but
I
they
wanna-
might be.
I kind of want to go back and watch that because that was such a painful series. Because you thought, okay, the Blackhawks are gone, the Blues, their path to the Cup final is clear, and they just shit. Well, I guess Edmonton and Calgary are playing.
But Calgary took out Edmonton, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. That'd be, that's the Battle of Alberta. That'd be great. What was that? Did it go 7? I'll go fewer.
Yeah, because they said that Calgary was up 3-1.
Okay.
Earlier in this,
and that was Game 7, I guess. Man,
yeah,
that'd be a game to watch.
Yeah.
Backup goalie Jeff Reese.
Oh yeah, another good puck doku play.
Yes.
You ever need Red Wings and Hurricanes? Go with Jeff Reese.
Rob Brindamore.
That triumphant.
Yeah.
And would the Devils have they developed Brodeur, right? They didn't trade for him. So would they have kept Brodeur if they had Joseph?
Yeah.
Would they have traded him as a prospect?
Maybe the Blues would have had Brodeur for longer.
Yeah. Or Brodeur doesn't get his shot.
That would be nuts. But we would never have known.
Fucking Judge Houston.
Dick.
Edward J.
That's a good camera angle. Paul skating off with it. Man, if you'd never sat in the gondolas at the end of the arena up high,
where they
you haven't
swung.
lived. You haven't lived until you were up there when the arena was rocking and that those things were swaying back and forth on those cables. Ugh. I feel sorry for people that didn't get to experience the arena. I really do.
That was an incredible. It was a shithole, but to experience it was incredible.
They're so loud, and the steepness of the stands, which is it's against fire codes now. You can't do that. So
no,
and so the fans were kind of more on top of the ice. It's just, it had a comfy vibe, and you were on the ice almost. It's fantastic. Good stuff.
Yep, that was fun. We hope you all enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. There we go. Thank you, Kurt.
Yep.
Yeah, so some notes from after. So what happened next? We did the how'd we get here? What happened next? The Blues went on to play the Minnesota North Stars, who squeaked into the playoffs with a measly 27-39-14 record for 68 points. They had upset Chicago in round 1, who was a cup favorite that season. Then they upset the Blues. Then they upset the Oilers, who were 37-37-6 for 80 points. Not a great record, but they were the Oilers of the early 90s, who were a good team. Then they beat the Oilers in 5 games. Then they lost to the Pittsburgh Penguins in the Stanley Cup final 4-2. So for the North Stars, a miraculous run that, like you said earlier, Kurt, it was there for the Blues. That was one of those times where you looked and you were like, oh my God, the Blackhawks are out.
Yep.
It's all Blues this point forward. Blues were dominant in the regular season. They pretty much made Minnesota look stupid every time they played them.
They'd have been the favorite to go to the final. I don't think they beat Pittsburgh, but they should have been to the final.
That would have been a hell of a Stanley Cup final to watch, though. Lemieux and Yager versus Oates and Hull.
Yeah.
I mean, man, that'd be incredible.
Wasn't who was in net for Pittsburgh?
Barrasso.
Was that Barrasso?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Barrasso against
John Casey.
Brando. Well,
yeah. Well, the final, if you remember,
right,
it
was Casey. But I mean, if the Blues had made it, right?
Yeah. Lemieux walking Casey, the immortal goal.
Yep. And Alexander Godinuk, right? Was that the defenseman he walked? I could be wrong on that.
And the Blues were a very good defensive team that season. So,
yeah, they were.
Even they had Butcher back there.
So again, with what happened to the Blues after this, Scott Stevens went on to New Jersey, and so began that fiasco. The next season, the Blues traded Oates mid-season and acquired Craig Janney. Curtis Joseph took over the starting job and appeared in 60 games for the Blues. And Garth Butcher, Kurt's favorite player, was named captain after Stevens' departure.
So painful.
That was another, and it's like so similar to the Brewer Pronger thing, because you felt like the Blues were like, well, we got to make it look like that was a good trade, so let's just name Butcher captain. And I feel like I have the same thing with Brewer. No, he's a good defenseman. Trust us. In fact, he's so good we named him captain. We're not stupid. Come on.
Yeah. But it was such an exciting era, though, right? Because the Stevens going to New Jersey happens because the Blues are like, we needed one more guy to get us over the hump, and we went out and got Brendan Shanahan, right? And
such a great acquisition. Sure.
Yeah, but cost us Scott Stevens,
right?
And
can you imagine today losing your captain?
Mm-hmm.
One of the best players in the league, a dominant defenseman, a core of your team, to losing him because you signed a guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For any player movement like that, like a league mandated player movement, there'd be riots. I'm not even kidding.
Well, that would
not happen.
That's why it doesn't. That's why it can't happen today. That kind of thing wouldn't happen. You use picks. A player would not be allowed to be acquired if the team didn't have the picks. A perfect example is Armstrong acquiring the pick in the offseason so he could make a deal. So he had that pick.
Do the offer sheets.
Right, the offer sheet.
Can you imagine if he would have done that with Broberg and Holloway, and then start of the season, the NHL's like, you have to give Colton Parayko back to the Oilers.
Right.
That's the equivalent, right? But that was the NHL. Free agency didn't exist until the early 90s, and that the NHL was trying to send a message to other teams: don't fuck around with this. You're gonna pay for it.
And the Blues basically gave the league the finger, so we're gonna do what we want.
Mm-hmm.
And the league said, well, okay, here you go. This era, and we talk about this era a lot, and I've been very strongly of the opinion that those jerseys should be the jerseys that are used, brought back for a throwback or brought back for the Winter Classic.
Winter Classic.
It has to be, because that era, that's the Hull and Oates era. That's Scott Stevens, Curtis Joseph. That is the such an exciting era of Blues.
And that's why I get pissed when people call the clown jerseys the Brett Hall jerseys. I'm like,
No.
Brett Hall was I don't want to say the twilight of his career, but he's at the end of his Blues career with those jerseys. He is known for the jerseys they wore in this game.
Right. I agree. And this is the jersey. Any other recommendation for a jersey for the Winter Classic is wrong. The Blues arguing over the top. No, not that one.
Right.
this
That
era
was
right
that was
I
the
would
Ruth
like-
Orness jersey, right?
Yes.
Oh,
right.
those. No, not. Yeah, I'm sorry that you meant the arch with the
No,
Dave
the
Checkett's one.
Dave Checkett's? No.
Now that one I would love to see eventually, but I think we need to get this jersey first. I think that would be great.
I wouldn't mind seeing a white version of the
Yes.
circle, the arch circle jersey.
Yeah.
Third.
That always needed to happen.
Yeah.
It'll happen at some point.
Yeah, eventually, but not. I don't. It can be down the road a ways. That's fine.
Right.
Get some more separation.
We
between
need the late 80s, early 90s jerseys that we
Yes.
just saw.
And if they don't use those for the Winter Classic, it's a fail. I don't care what it is. I don't care what they bring back. It's a fail.
At this point, with the jerseys they've brought back, this is the one you have to bring back now.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean,
I would love it, and I know I've said this a million times on the show. Bring back the blue version of that, and have the Blackhawks wear a red one. Go red versus blue in that game. I think that'd be awesome.
And watching on black and white TV.
Well, that's a bad idea. Well, that'll do it for our Mystery Hockey Theater. We hope you all enjoyed it. I know we did. That was a fun game to watch. For me, it's funny because we watched the other Mystery Hockey Theater we did this summer was the famous other Game 7 between the Blues and Red Wings.
Yeah.
And that one, when I was watching it with you guys, it was bringing back all these feels. For me, there's a little bit of that, but for me, I was 5, almost 6 when this game was played. So I remembered the Brett Hall goal, the breakaway goal, because like you said, Kurt, I think it's mostly because we see that still today in Blues highlight packages. And I remember Riendo making some nice saves here and there. But for me, I didn't remember this game too much. So be able to sit here and watch it again and be like, oh, I kind of remember a glimpse of this. That was kind of cool.
I was 17 for this game.
Yeah, by the way, late comment here on this, but Kurt just celebrated a birthday. Happy birthday, buddy.
50.
50.
I can't believe you're 50.
It's a significant milestone.
Yep.
Isn't it weird that it's an arbitrary number? Just because it's divisible by 10, it makes it significant. It's kind of strange.
So I just realized this too. You just turned 50. This was episode 50 of season 13.
Oh.
How about that?
How about that?
Happy
about
birthday
that?
episode.
Yeah.
No,
that's great. And hey, you know what? Real quick before we, actually, you know what? Let's do this real quick. I'll get to your pickleball thing in a minute. Because I do want you to, we can mention it. I think it's important. Next up for the Blues, the current Blues, not the 1991 Blues. We've got preseason. So Saturday they play in in St. Louis against Chicago. Tuesday versus Columbus, Thursday versus Dallas. And then again, I mentioned that Saturday game that no one's going to see unless you live in Wichita. They're going to play Chicago to end the preseason. And then Tuesday, the big one, October 8th, Seattle, 3:30 p.m. season opener. How exciting.
What day is that?
Does that make sense to anybody?
What day of the week is that?
It's a freaking Tuesday.
Yeah, it makes zero sense.
It's not a Cardinal game. It's a hockey
I don't get
game.
it. I'm not happy with it, honestly. It's dumb.
It's a Tuesday, so I'll be working from home, so I can watch it. But I feel for those who have to work that day.
I mean, I'll be working from home too, but
working from home that day.
I think a lot of St. Louis is going to be working from home that day.
So stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but either way, and I feel for people in Seattle, it's even earlier for them. It's 1:30 start for them.
Take a late lunch and that's it.
Absolutely stupid. Doesn't make any sense to me. They've never done this before. Whatever. And then real quick, I didn't put this in the notes, guys, but I saw this right before the show. Did you guys see what John Tortorella did for the Gaudreau family?
I did not.
No.
So he invited their father out to training camp.
I did see that. Yeah.
And he worked with the players and worked with the Flyers players, the young players especially. And I just thought that was so fucking cool. Say what you want about Tortorella as a head coach. As a man, he's a genuine human being. And I thought that was really cool to see him reach out to the Gaudreau family and do that.
You heard that his wife, after he passed away, you heard that his wife found out she was pregnant. Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's like
awful.
a dagger, like salt in the wound, and the dagger. It's like, oh God.
That one. So that was one of those that I was reading, like, because I think she said it at or after the memorial, and like I was reading about it, and then I saw that, and it just hit me, and I stopped what I was doing, and I sat here for like 5 minutes. Was like, oh my God, like, how awful!
Yeah, it's a gut punch. I thought the whole thing is just the whole hockey world is a gut punch, right?
Mm-hmm. Did you guys put your sticks out?
No,
I did not. I saw you did.
I saw you did.
But...
Yeah,
I did not. I wasn't home. I was like gone. That I don't know.
I kind of enjoy that. I mean, it sounds bad, but I like that the hockey community supports each other and does that. Poor wording, my bad.
We have our thing.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a cool thing that we've started doing. All right, so we will close up, but first, like I said, Kurt, you had some exciting news about your pickleball playing. Let's hear about it and how people can support it.
Well, I recently became a brand ambassador for 6-0 pickleball. So it's 60pickleball.com, spelled out, no letters, no numbers. But yeah, so with the promo code CPrice10, CPrice10, you get 10% off at 60pickleball.com with my promo code. And so that's and they're a very innovative company. They're pretty young. They're only like about 2 years old. But they put out some of the best stuff, some of the best paddles and equipment. So if you play and you are a 6-0 fan or you're interested, shoot me an email or something, and I can answer some questions, or just use the promo code CPrice10 and get yourself a discount.
What's your email?
Price12@gmail.com. That's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
So I have to ask, do you wear numbers on your pickleball shirts?
No. Well, in team league, I had numbers. We had when I was part of the team league over the summer. I was 12.
And say you couldn't negotiate a 12% discount.
That's what I was going to suggest too. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that'd have been cool. No, I don't have. It's not like I'm not on their playing team.
You don't have that kind of clout.
No, not yet. I'm a representative. So
so you say for pickleball equipment, I ordered a shirt. You say it's just a nice fabric. It's a good workout shirt. I don't play pickleball, so as soon as I get that shirt, I will report back to you. But for those of you who are interested in just supporting Kurt in any way, and maybe if you work out or if you just like comfy shirts, check out their apparel line as well.
They do. I have a couple of their shirts, and they're quite comfortable. Yeah.
Cool.
Wicking, wicking, a little stretchy. Yeah, they're nice.
Very cool. Well, is that it, boys? We got anything else?
That's nothing else from this chair.
So again, make sure, folks, and this is relatively tentative, but I think we can almost cement it. Next week, we will have our season preview show again with the weirdness of the Blues starting the season on a Tuesday at 3:30. We felt that it was best to probably go ahead and do our season preview show next week. So that will be Wednesday, October 2nd is what we're slating it for. Normal time. That'll be the kickoff for season 14. So make sure you tune in, join us live, get some good comments going like we had all season last year and every season before this, we started doing it live. So looking forward to it, guys, and happy to be closing out season 13 with such a fun episode.
It was a blast.
It was fun. Yeah, I always love these. It doesn't even matter what kind of game it is. It's like it could be a random regular season game. It'd be fun.
Yeah. Next one we do the random Blues North Stars game from '84 where Bunny Larock was in goal.
Yes.
I know you have that one. It's on your YouTube.
Oh, do I? I didn't realize I did. Okay. I'd love to do that.
I won a game where the Blues got the trumpeter from Quebec. Was it Scott?
Claude.
Claude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the Blues got him, and I want to see a game where they show him run up and down the stairs.
That'd be awesome. We'll have to do that. We'll look for one of those games too. But no, I agree. These are always fun. I always enjoy these, and I love the idea of doing a St. Louis Vipers game. I think that'd be awesome.
Or beach hockey,
Yeah, or pro beach hockey. That'd be awesome. All right. Well, we're going to close her up again. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for the close of Season 13. And make sure you join us next week for Season 14. And for all of you who have supported us during the summer series and have enjoyed those interviews, thank you very much. I've had a great summer doing it, but I'm looking forward to getting into some regular shows because that means hockey's back. So we will be getting right on those next week. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by Mike Burgoyne from Real Brokerage Realty. Email him at mike@strikewithmike.com today for all of your home buying and selling needs. That's mike@strikewithmike.com. And Wolf Power Washing, St. Louis's premier power washing company with the best rates in town. Call Joe Wolf at 314-420-5434 and get the best looking and greatest power washer in the area. That's 314-420-5434. That will wrap up episode 50 of season 13 of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening, and thanks to those who participated in YouTube and Facebook live chats during the show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. For Bill Day and Kurt Price, I'm Jeff Ponder, and this was Let's Go Blues Radio. Until next time, everyone, beat the North Stars. Let's go Blues.
I hear that Madonna kid's going to be good.
There goes Shovel Day.
Bye-bye.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Sport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available.
A look at fourth.
I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
I want you to have a heart attack and die so that we never have to do this shit again.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to number one. Now there's no more blues for our St. Louis Blues. The Blues are on the ice tonight again. They're rough and tough and got the stuff to win. They'll always get one more, no matter what the score. They are quite a hockey team, my friend.